Okay, so the first thing you need to do is make sure that the battery's out. So that just comes out the back there on those two clips. It's pretty easy to do that. And then next up, you're going to want to start to hit the power button a few times just to make sure all the charge is out. Then once you've done that, you have to remove this front bezel, the plastic bit. So all of this comes off. At first it's pretty tightly sealed at the top, so if you can get your fingernails in or like a flathead screwdriver, you can start to pull away at it, and then it's pretty easy just to pull all the way along. It can be tricky at first if it's the first time doing it, because the adhesive has it stuck down quite well. So, but you just keep at it, don't be too rough with it, and you can carefully prise all this front panel off. Even these plastic hinges, they come off as well, but they can be a bit tricky, so I'm gonna quickly turn the camera off whilst I do that. Okay, so now I've got this front bezel off. It just comes off like that. Like, these two plastic covers come off. So now you're left with something that looks like this. Now at the top here, there's just the top brackets just go into these little plastic clips, but on the bottom you have a screw there and a screw there. So first thing to do to get rid of your old screen is obviously just go at these little screws with a precision Phillips screwdriver. So that just takes a couple of seconds. And then obviously make sure you keep a hold of these screws, you don't want to lose them when you put your new one in. Alright, so now that it's unscrewed, you've got to kind of hold the edges here and in here, and then gently lift it out so that you can just slide it out from those little clips. So I'm just going to turn the camera off for a second whilst I do that. Okay, so I've just grabbed the sides there carefully, and you just gently slide it out so that you see there the bracket's now out of the clip, and you can just lay it down on the keyboard like that. And then if you're not sure which screen you need to replace your current one, you can have a look. You see there, that's the serial number here. Actually it's this one. And then you go on the laptop screen website and just search for that, and that'll be an exact fit. If you're not sure, you can always take a picture of this and then send it into their live chat, and someone will be able to help you and recommend a compatible screen. So all you have to do now is gently lift the adhesive here that's keeping the cable stuck down, and keep the sticker on the cable whilst you do it, and lift the pin out the back of the screen here. Bit tricky. And then just be really careful whilst you remove the pin here, because it's pretty delicate. Don't put too much force on it. And then yeah, it should come out just like that. So just leave all that there, and get rid of your old screen. And grab your new one straight out of the box. 2 seconds. You just want to lie that flat on the keyboard. Make sure there's something underneath it so that it doesn't get scratched, and then gently plug this wire back in and stick it back down. I'm just going to put the camera down whilst I make sure it's all lined up. Okay, so that's now back plugged in. Stuck down this bit of tape, stuck down this one. obviously, yeah, just be really careful with it and make sure you don't snap anything. And then once you've done that, you need to just process in reverse. So lift it up, get these top brackets slotted in, and then start screwing it. So again, I'm just going to put the camera down whilst I lift it up into those brackets. There you go. I just put it on my lap for a second there whilst I slid it in again. Just guide it into there nice and slowly. It should be fairly easy. And then all that's left to do now is to refit these screws and then put the bezel back on. So let's get started with the screws. Bit fiddly trying to do this with one hand. That's one in. Two. Alright, at this point, you might want to test it before you put the bezel on and before you remove the protective plastic coating. So I'm going to quickly put the battery back in and give it a little test. Threw the battery back in there. Let's see if we have light. Yeah, so there you go. MSI logo up on the screen. No more cracks or anything. So I think it's safe to say that this is all working. I'll fit the bezel back on, and that's a job done. Just grab this bit of plastic here and gently peel off protective film. Okay, and then now that we've done that, we can refit the bezel. So now we just grab the bezel, slot it back in there to the hinges. I think it's easiest to start with, and then just gently go along and make sure each little plastic clip is down in place. And then stick this bit to the bottom again. And there you have it, a full screen replacement. I hope that's been helpful, and good luck.